If you've been paying attention, you already know that Donald Trump is an absolute hypocrite when it comes to mail-in votes. He says they're so fraudulent that they have to be banned, that no other country has it, even though dozens do. He, of course, notably votes by mail. He has told his voters to vote by mail, as he then calls them frauds. Well, we'll set that aside. Lauren Boebert, it turns out, also a massive fraud, and not just in mail-in ballots, just generally a fraud. She'll see something going on in politics and she'll be like, hey, nobody's talked about me in a bit. Let me get involved in this. And so when she saw that Trump and Putin were talking about fraudulent voting, rather than, I don't know, being a reasonable person and commenting on how strange it is that your god emperor is taking election advice from a guy who steals every election that his country has, she instead tweeted, end it. End the mail-in voting. Oh, it's terrible. And Lauren Boebert has definitely always thought that. This is an actual principle of hers. Don't you understand? This isn't her just basically claiming to support whatever Donald Trump is saying. And if he reverses course tomorrow, she too will. The issue is that back in 2022, she sent out this of how proud she was to be turning in her mail-in ballot. And you can see it there, the mail ballots here, slot there. She's so excited. Oh, she did a selfie. She took it there, social media post about it. And it's strange now in hindsight to think, why was she so proud to be involved in this massive fraud, this plot to take over elections? It's utterly ridiculous. And so it doesn't end there though. We know that Donald Trump wants to end mail-in votes just because he thinks more Democrats do it. And the evidence isn't even that strong for that, by the way. It really does seem like it's become more 50-50 in who uses mail-in ballots, but whatever. They always want less people to vote. And he thinks that they're gonna get 100 additional seats as a result of this. Now, to be clear, that's ridiculous, but whatever, it's True Social, what do you expect? And so, Yaz, what do you make of this? The move to change how we vote, the mail-in ballots, the voting machines, what do you think is actually gonna happen?
I just think that it feels like a repeat of what we've already seen with previous elections involving Trump. And I feel like he's going even harder this time because he needs to go even harder this time. Everything that he is doing leading up to these 2026 midterms and then looking forward to the 2028 election it's very obvious what he's doing. And because we've seen him do it before, right? We saw prior to 2024 and prior to, or I guess after 2020 more than before. But during these elections, he was already demonizing these voting machines and he was already laying a lot of the groundwork for him to be able to say later, see, I was right. And then people think he's a prophet. People think that he knows more than the rest of us do. It's because he's telling you what he is going to do, right? He's just telling you his own plan so that afterwards he can say, see, I told you so. And we know that that was actually the plan because Steve Bannon has actually said that that was his plan. He has said it out loud, right? So we have evidence of that. We know that that was, and the thing is, we could tell as it was happening, right? He was saying all these things were going to happen. It's like, how do you know this is going to happen, Trump? And then when it did happen, he said, see, I told you there was going to be voter fraud. There was going to be wonky numbers, right? The 2020 election results, he is more than happy to do audits for even now. 2024, not so much because he won that one. Not just did he win that one, but he won every single swing state. So those election results are actually way more atypical than anything we saw in 2020. But for him, as long as he won, then it must be right. Because as long as he wins, that is the only logical, reasonable outcome that his brain can fathom. So he's like, you know what, it's fine. Like 2024, nothing to see here. But the whole time, like if things had gone badly for him, he would have done the same thing all over again. And it seems like the Republicans understand that they do not have the public support behind them right now. They have, I know we're gonna talk about this later on in the show, but they have no support for the big, beautiful bill. People are not supporting him on his biggest issue, which is immigration, the way that he's going about things. People don't like what they're seeing in DC. GOP representatives are being trolled all over the country at their own town hall events. They're being booed and trolled by their own constituents. And they're resorting to things like mid-decade gerrymandering. So they have to be desperate.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. It's just, it's pathetic. Like we have real troubles facing our country, our world. And unfortunately, this is what we have to get involved in. And the actual reality, as it so often doesn't matter. He claimed in 2020 they're doing mail-in ballots because they're gonna, or in 2024 that they're gonna steal the election. So he won. They still believe that it's fraudulent. I like you can't have a serious adult conversation with these people because again, facts don't matter, only feelings. It's very frustrating. And also, I'll point out one final fact before we go. He can't ban mail-in ballots. He has no power whatsoever to do that. But why am I even commenting? It doesn't matter. He can do anything he wants if the Supreme Court allows it. And so, like, if Biden had claimed that he alone is in control of the elections, they would have screamed so loud, and they would have been right to. But partisanship is a hell of a drug.